When Austrian explorer Arthur Poznański performed a study on Puma Punku in 1926, he later hypothesized that it was, in fact, one of the oldest archaeological sites on the face of the Earth, an ancient ruin dating back at least 15,000 years ago. Poznański was one of the first explorers of the modern age to have ever investigated Puma Punku's incredible existence. But as our regular viewers would have predicted, his hypothesis is staunchly denied by academics worldwide. Yet regardless of this, his sound reasoning, and indeed that of many other critically minded individuals, means that his theory is one many others have arrived at, thus it continues to have many supporters to this day. And although mainstream academia persists in their attempts to place this amazing and largely inexplicable site's date of construction within permitted timelines, claiming to have carbon dating done at the site which places its origins at around 500 BC, supporters of a greater age dismiss this dating as unreliable, and due to our own in-depth and many years of investigative experience regarding these ruins, tend to agree that the site is indeed far older, and due to there having been an ice age around 10,000 years ago, this dating made by Poznański would put it right where one would expect to have found it if it was indeed the work of a pre-cataclysmic civilization, with Puma Punku being a surviving relic of their incredible legacy. Additionally, archaeologist and researcher Neil Steed has also investigated a relationship with astronomical alignments. He discovered intriguing supporting evidence for this controversial opinion, finding that it was built to coincide with winter and summer solstice, and a precise alignment with the spring equinox as well. However, these events would have only been perfectly aligned with the temples over 17,000 years ago. We have long argued against a field of study that is not only assumptive in method, but is also conspiratorial in nature. Any dating of any relic which cannot be explained is merely an attempt to muddy the waters of understanding, often obscured with an in-depth volley of detailed and competent investigations into civilizations. We posit merely re-inhabited said sites within known, recent, well-studied history. This convincing tale of events, however, is short-lived if one explores any of the said sites with a logical eye. One soon finds that many characteristics on display are not only found globally, which on its own is compelling proof of a past global superpower, but the countless trilithons, enormous megaliths, some reaching into the thousands of tons, along with highly advanced, incredibly accurate, yet unknown masonry techniques, all tell a story which academics who never seem to mention said features cannot explain. Not to mention melting pots of ancient academic anomalies, such as that of Puma Punku. How can anyone logically claim that the astonishing precision on show at the site, along with the many basalt megalithic platforms weighing many hundreds of tons, all indicative of a past highly capable, technologically advanced civilization, once having been responsible, and once one grasps just how many holes can be found within mainstream opinion, they can be forgiven for doubting said tale of events, especially when those who tell such tales actively attempt to conceal such unexplainable features. Who built Puma Punku? Is it really over 15,000 years old? How would one cut such precision stonework without precision machinery? It is a place which we find highly compelling. In our last video, we explored the work of the first pioneering antiquarians of the modern age. We discussed how archaeologists Arthur Poznański and Neil Steed, along with many other astute individual researchers, unraveled a possible key to unlocking the true purpose and indeed historical significance of the site. They concluded that the site, due to academia's reluctance to tag any ancient ruin with a date of more than 4,000 years, is the oldest ruin on Earth. The archaeologists discovered an alignment with the solstices and spring equinox, which only occurred around 17,000 years ago. However, there are many other intriguing areas of interest yet to be fully understood. Along with the volumes of photographic documentations of precise measurements Independent researchers also discovered that the site's gray stonework also possesses a curious magnetic property. The question is, if these ancient people knew of this interesting characteristic, what was the purpose of using said stone? Was the stone slowly magnetized by a technology once present at the site, now lost to history? Along with the gray stone, however, the site also contains an equal amount of red sandstone, which was used to build the site, yet this red stone does not share the enigmatic magnetism of its gray counterpart. Perhaps the sandstone is somehow immune to what was responsible. Perhaps this is why the Great Pyramids were built from sandstone, to avoid the masonry taking on this magnetic charge. Perhaps, but I digress. Puma Punku is what we like to call a smoking gun, a site which clearly displays masonry skills of its ancient constructor, precision-cut stone masonry, which today could only be achieved with the use of advanced stone-cutting machinery. Shrouded in mystery, the archaeological side of Puma Punku is one of the biggest headaches for mainstream archaeology to explain. So how would an ancient culture, one which was far less capable than modern man, cut, shape, and transport from many miles away carvings out of some of the world's toughest stone, accomplished with such incredible precision? A group able to transport blocks of stone, sometimes weighing far more than 50 tons to the site, effortlessly placing them in position, often using a placement technique indicative of polygonal methodology. Interestingly, after investigating possible causes for this characteristic, it was realized that the building material was not granite, as it had long been assumed, but was in fact andesite. Andesite is the most iron-rich volcanic material we are aware of. It can contain around 15% iron oxide and can have up to 4% magnetite. Thus, the stone, it seems, could have already been displaying magnetic characteristics when placed where it now lay. Yet the question still persists. Why did this stone get selected as the building material for the temple? It was built by a civilization that brought the stone from many miles away, so the suggestion that it was the only stone available would not be a logical conclusion. It was chosen by a group who were seemingly meticulous in their application. So it is quite possible that the magnetic characteristic was somehow utilized by the builders. Thankfully, it is only a matter of time before Puma Punku's secrets are fully understood, and we finally discover who built it. It is a place we find highly compelling. The most ancient sites to be found here upon our planet were often created using enormous, erosion-resistant megalithic stones. This use of enormous stone being the reason why many of these structures have indeed survived the eons. And, although the actual methods used to move such stones has been lost to history, their existence, and indeed their placement, remains a testament to our lost ancestors' past capabilities. According to modern science, or more specifically, the known laws of physics, many of these stone blocks defy understanding. And although little is known regarding the true builders of such sites, places such as Puma Punku still possesses many megalithic blocks, which display the extraordinarily advanced, astonishing feats of block building and precision carving, which we believe were left by a people who flourished an incredibly long time ago. Enormous, precision-carved, precisely placed andesite blocks still litter the site. Their existence is undeniable, yet highly controversial. Therefore, predictably, many of these sites are either quietly investigated or simply ignored, successfully concealing unexplained feats of past engineering. Some of the most visited sites on Earth contain megalith blocks walked past or over without a second thought every day. These stones, however, hold the secret to unraveling the currently attested historical inaccuracies, for they do indeed exist, cannot be shifted, and fly in the face of the incomplete history academics are attempting to teach as fact. These same individuals simply fall silent when asked to explain how their currently attested builders of said sites, be it Roman, Inca, Mayan, Egyptian, etc., actually built such structures using such enormous blocks. Additionally, regardless of these said individuals' apparent qualification to speak on such matters, when one presents any compelling evidence, such as erosion patterns, machine tool marks, highly advanced building techniques, be it anything solid which indicates a far more superior, far older civilization as the true constructors, their lack of true knowledge regarding their apparent specialist subjects always becomes apparent. Additionally, these selected, submissive, often subsequently authoritatively placed individuals have never had the experience to explore such controversial evidence, or indeed the indicative possibilities attached thereof. This means that, although their knowledge of permitted history is substantial, their overall knowledge regarding the past, and indeed its possible past inhabitants, will always be severely limited. Yet, fortunately, although it may sometimes feel like an eternal battle, in the end, the truth is always found. Polygonal masonry is undoubtedly a top trump argument, along with toolmark patterning, and indeed pyramidal and other structural forms which can be found across the globe, which prove there was not only once an ocean-going ancient civilization, but a worldwide, highly advanced superpower who once dominated the Earth. The proof is there for all to see, yet en masse, how they incorporate these proofs into their critical decision-making faculties is still up for debate. Yet regardless, this proof of their past capabilities are still on display the world over, a duly awarded testament to their building prowess. Although many have attempted to explain these stones, some claiming they are of artificial or geopolymer origins, others claim they are somehow a reformed rock, from a plaster of Paris-type constituent of the original stone itself. Some even claim a plant was responsible. Any definitive answer as to how these stones were shaped and placed, or indeed any recreation of these claimed methods, elude us to this day. A lost technology from a now lost, yet once highly advanced ancient civilization. Cusco, which translates as the City of the Puma, holds some of the most exquisite and best preserved polygonal masonry to be found anywhere. Home to the famous 12-sided stone, something which many are not aware of, however, is that it is also home to dozens of carvings and structures which were intended as artistic masonry renditions of animals, one of which, namely the puma. Academic hypothesis suggests that these creations were built by the Inca to once form the boundary walls of an ancient temple, yet like the countless other areas we explore here on our channel, any explanation as to how the walls were constructed, or indeed why pumas and other animals were incorporated into this enigmatic stonework, is absent from all and any academically accepted historical description of their origin. We feel that these structures were built for a reason, even stretching as far as Egypt, present as casing stones on the pyramids of Egypt themselves. They wanted future man to witness this stonework, built to last and to remain immovable. It is as if they were trying to tell us something about their existence, and indeed the true history and perhaps future fate of mankind. We find Cusco's Puma, and indeed the lost knowledge itself, highly compelling.